everyone, Mike here, and of course our Shum will be joining us amongst many of the guides and the people in the spirit world as they gather around to see if we can connect with loved ones in spirit and our pets and everybody else that has gone home. And it's sort of a timely reminder to let people know that actually they haven't gone anywhere, they're just on a different frequency, and are sharing the same sort of space as we are. They're not up, they're not down, they're in the same kind of field, I guess. We're all in the field. So I feel that if you want to communicate with your loved ones in spirit, it's probably one of the hardest things to do because of the emotional attachment. As a medium, it's easier, perhaps is not the correct word, but it's often you're able to communicate with somebody else's loved one because you don't have that emotional attachment. Though it is true that spirit sometimes comes through so fast and so emotional that a medium can get quite weepy. Certainly they're able to give us the impression or the feeling of how they passed in the spirit world. Sometimes they give it to us clairvoyantly, sometimes they give it to us clairsentiently with feeling, clairaudiently with your inner ear, or even sometimes it's out there in the field. Sometimes I've heard the voice of a loved one in spirit and it kind of sounds like it's coming through a foghorn, and yet somehow only you can hear it. They manage to find a frequency. I guess they do that because it might freak out a lot of people. If you're interested in all these afterlife techniques, there is a fabulous documentary. I think it's on Vimeo rather than YouTube, and it's called Calling Earth, and it shows people who do all this communication via technology, either through white noise from the TV or simply recording from your computer or from the telephone, your telephone answering machine. I mean, that's going back some years, but they were able to do this and people were coming through. One lady had a message from her son who was in the afterlife, if we want to call it that. He left a message on the voice phone. So all these kind of things can happen now, especially now the veil has been separated a little less further apart now. The veil that separates the two worlds is a lot closer. Let's have a look here. Hello, Dayanara. Lovely for you to join us. What we got here, let's see, we got another message here. Good evening, happy to be here, and we are happy to have you here. So let's have a look. I'd like to ask my guides what I should do to protect my energy from negative people or envy. Sometimes I feel low on energy and I feel like my life isn't moving forward. Thank you. Okay. So the best way to protect your energy, there's several techniques. Of course, the simplest way, which takes a bit of practice, and this comes across a little bit arrogant, but it's not meant to be arrogant, but it's when you really do not give a damn what people think about you, their energy cannot touch you, and that's the position you want to get to. And not give a damn in the sense of, as I say, arrogance or anything like this, but then you are completely 100% in control. The other thing is envy, obviously, is in many ways it's a form of a compliment, really, isn't it? So with regards to envy, thank you. I've been reminded that we're in the truth vibration right now. And the truth is going to be spoken, whether it is done voluntarily or through free will or a fraudulent slip. So the people that are envious of you and perhaps are saying bad things about you are going to be found out by their own action. You don't have to do anything. I know they say revenge is a dish best served cold, but I wouldn't be looking at that. I'd be just uh, putting it bluntly, allow them enough rope to hang themselves, because the truth will be found out. And if you can realize that and step back from it, knowing that it's going to happen at some point, you change your energy. Your guides are able to get closer to you. I know that you can connect with the spirit world, and you'll be able to feel a lot more at ease about the situation. Um, your life will move forward, I feel, when you take back control of um, your own power. In other words, let's take, for example, myself as an example. I come from an Italian family where I'm the only one ever doing this. I couldn't talk to anyone about it, and when they did know I was doing things like this, you didn't get too many nice comments. So you have a choice. You either have to get upset about it, in which case you are telling them that they control your emotion, or you can say, okay, that's your decision, your choice, and I'm not listening to you. You don't affect me. So it's a case of getting back into your own power. How do you get back into your own power? Well, if you don't feel strong enough to get back into your own power, you have to fake it till you make it. Diana, I've got somebody here in the spirit world who's changing my voice, as you can hear. So this person in spirit is coming close, and I feel you know who this person is because you've been thinking about them probably today. I can't determine who it is right now, but all I know is they're making my voice change. So either they were quite a smoker, or or they just had this groggy voice. I feel it's probably a grandparent of some description, because this grandparent was a very spiritual and mediumistic person. So this is who I've got here. Let me say, this just takes intention. And once you start this, you get back into your own power, and things will start moving for you. With regards, I think you said your life isn't moving forward. I'm told it actually is, but what is happening and what it appears like is there is a cleansing, a clearing out. And that's the other thing with this energy. You're clearly a spiritual person and a 5D person, an ascension person. That is very clear. But in order to ascend and go forward in life, everything that no longer serves you has to be destroyed, if you like, or neutralized. And so it feels like you're being held back. I would say roll with it, go with the process, just keep heading forward in the direction you want. And if you get the knockbacks, don't worry about it, because I'm told that this is your year of change. There's a lot more to come, so I won't say this is the big year, because with you I sense that every year is going to get better and better, apart from the humps and bumps that we have along the way from time to time. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I don't know if you've seen this, if you're in any one of my groups, but I'm gonna, oops, what's happened here? I'm gonna read this to you because I think this is appropriate to you. And it says this, and if anyone else is watching or listening, I think this will apply to all of us. It says, you will never taste victory if you fear the start, not because you're incapable, but because you never entered the arena to begin with. Hesitation is deceptive. It dresses itself up as intelligence, as timing, as I just need to think this through a little more, when in reality it's nothing more than fear, politely disguised so we can live with it. We tell ourselves we're preparing, when what we're really doing is delaying. And the longer we stay there, the heavier it becomes, until What once felt like a simple first step starts to feel like an impossible leap. The truth is, inaction is far more destructive than failure will ever be, because failure teaches, redirects, sharpens, it moves you, even when it hurts. But inaction does none of that. It keeps you suspended in place, watching time pass, quietly burying every version of you that might have existed if you'd only begun. So there is no perfect moment, no moment where fear disappears and certainly arrives. That moment never comes. There is only a decision to move despite doubt, despite discomfort, despite not knowing how it will unfold. Because the truth is, everything you are waiting for, clarity, confidence, momentum, it all lives on the other side of starting. And until you take that step, it remains out of reach. So the question is not whether you are ready, it's whether you are willing. Because victory doesn't come to those who feel prepared, it comes to those that begin. And I think that's a valuable lesson for absolutely every single one of us. We do fear beginning because we do fear failing. But you know, we have to see it like a scientist, don't we, who does many, many, many experiments and fails at it until he finds the right solution to the problem. So please don't get despondent. Get back in your own power. Your guides are with you. That's absolutely clear. I know you can feel them. I don't know who this person is that was giving me the dodgy voice, but they seem to have stepped back now. I think it's on your mother's side of the family, and I think it is female. I see she is a typical grandmother shaped body, if you see what I mean. Not thin, not big, just that nonna type of shape. And I think she had a good few years in her before she passed. And I think her passing was quite easy because she showed me just sliding into the other world. So, oops, let's have a look here. Thank you for this word. Yeah, I think, you know, that applies to all of us, myself included. You know, you do convince yourself, I'm just waiting for the right moment. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And you know, if we learn from Jeanne, which using her phrase, when they'd ask her, should we attack, she said, I always agree to attack. Of course, that's a different scenario, but the point was she didn't delay. She always was ready to work. And you know, another one of hers, I'm going to try and remember this, but I'll have to paraphrase it, and that was, every man gives his life for what he believes, and every woman gives her life for what she believes. Sometimes people believe in little or nothing, yet they give their lives to that little or nothing. One life is all we have, and then it's gone. But to surrender who you are and live without belief, that's more terrible than dying, more terrible than dying young. That was another one of Jeanne's quote. And so you can see, it's no surprise that the people who come here are people that are of that warrior nature. And so I would say to you, you know, time to take your sword out, just keep it by your side and march forward. Do not fall back is another one of her sayings, and you will begin. I would say we're looking at no more than 2 months before you see the progress. The progress is already there, but it'll be a couple of months before you see it. And yes, so I'll leave you that thought. I'm gonna, when I loved myself enough, let's see what we got here. We have got, when I loved myself enough, I began seeing the abuse in trying to force something of someone when it isn't ready, including me. Haha, there you go. Yeah, so that's it. Don't force, just allow. Oh, it said it can be my grandma, and I will have a job interview this Friday. I hope that I can have the opportunity there. Does my guides give me some advice for that? Well, I just got a little shiver all the way down my spine there, and I think that's going to go quite well for you, actually. So yes, that's your guides. That they're really happy that you've got this job interview. I don't know if you can feel this chill going down you now, but I can feel it coming all the way down you. This will indicate something very, very, very positive. So I would say, and from what I can pick up with them, it looks the most they will say is very, very, very good for you. So going to that interview, seeing it already done, that you've already got the job, and just feel that in your heart. And if you do doubt yourself, and this is for everyone that's joining us, there's a fabulous TED talk by, I think it's Amy Curvey, I think her name is, and it's called Fake It Till You Make It. And this is not about pretending, it's not about you're no good and you've got to BS your way into a position. No, this is for people such as yourself, my dear, who know you've got the talent, who know you can do it, but just lack that little bit of self-confidence. Well, you've got to fake it till you make it, and or better still, fake it till you are it, and then the job's yours. So I'm going to send you, if it's okay with you, healing this Friday. If you tell me what time the interview is, I'll make sure that I'm there Friday at that time, sending out the healing energy. And if you ask your guides for help, they'll do the same also. So there we are. Okay. Stick around, you might have another question. Okay. Hi, Bernard here. I wondered if my mother or father would have a message for me, or my brother maybe would like to connect with them. Thanks. Okay. Let's have a look what we got here. Okay, as they gather around, I get a little bit anxious. Oh, actually, it's more excitement. So somebody who's coming here in the spirit world is very excited to come in here. I think this might have been their personality on the earth plane, a little bit exciting. I get little bits of pain here. It's not pain, and I don't think this is how they crossed over, but there's something going on here that started to get a little bit tense as this person started to draw close. I think this is a male figure that I got here, and I'm speaking quite fast. So this was also this person's personality, that was a fast speaker. I'd say this person had a great sense of humour on the other, when he was here on the earth plane, and people liked him, and people wanted to be around him. For the most part, he saw the goodness in everyone, but I wouldn't have liked to have crossed him, not because he would have done anything bad. He would have just pretty much cut you off there and then. This is what he's showing me, and I want to give you, it looks like a rose garden, or a garden with lots of flowers and stuff like this, and he also gives me a pain in the left knee. So it could be all of them that are here for you right now. I'm going to see if we can, I get the initial C coming, so if it feels like it's Craig or Colin, but if it's not for you, it could be someone else coming in after. But this is who I have here with me. I want to give you a message here. Let me just put your Amy Cuddy. That's it. Thank you very much. So Dariana, Amy Cuddy is the TED Talk. Very much worth watching, and the most interesting part, if I remember, is about 11 or 12 minutes in, but I would watch it all. Anyway, so where was we? We were... okay, let me get back to you, Bernard. I feel the energy. Yes, I feel happy and emotional. Thank you and my guides. Super. So, I don't know where you've gone, mate. There we are. Okay. Okay. So what I also want to bring in is somebody, as I said, there's something in and around music. One of these people had a passion for music. I'm also using my hands quite a lot here. I do talk with my hands, but they're a little bit moving more than normal. So this person who's excited is really here. I want to give you the number 67. So this could be 1967 or the 6th of the 7th, somewhere in around there. The person I got here hasn't made old bones that I've got at the moment. Um, yeah, this person I don't think made it to old age, but was quite active, and I feel it was quite sudden, the passing. Very sudden, in fact, actually, is what I've got here. I just got impact. Was the word that was given to me. So I don't know if that means it was an impact on the family or this person had impact. I want to give you a message because okay, it's to do with you and having this brighter disposition that you've now got back again. Thank you, because you had a low period and now you're coming through that low period into what was your original personality. I think he's saying. By the way, do you play the guitar? Is there someone in guitar? Because I've just been shown guitar. Perhaps you need to start learning an instrument or start playing the instrument again, but there's certainly something around what they want to bring to you is a guitar. So music is quite popular with you. I feel you should be doing more arts and crafts, and your spiritual side of things is also taking off as well. They'd like to see you start doing some spiritual work, some healing, more healing, hands-on healing, spiritual healing, that type of thing. And you'll start to get more help from this. Let's see. Okay. Let's just finish you there. The interview is for 11:30. It's the first one. It will be short, but it's the first impression. They found me on LinkedIn and wanted to meet me. I'm putting the positive energy. Yeah, well, that's all positive anyway for you. So yeah, good. So we'll send you that energy. Okay, let's have a look here. So Bernard, let me finish off with when I loved myself enough. And if any of that resonates with you, or you can take any part of it in any shape or form, just let us know. That would be great. So when I loved myself enough, I quit exhausting myself by trying so hard. Okay, is that true with you, Bernard? You try too hard. It's, we all do. This is the vibration of allowing flow, just allowing it all to happen. Okay, before I go, the person that I got here, I noticed I exaggerated a word or two when I spoke, and so this person would exaggerate a phrase, something like that. So hopefully you can identify yourself from him. So we got here Jen, hello, and Jen again, and can I get a message, please? Yes, you can get a message. Okay, let's see. Before we get a message, let's go back to. But my mum's name started with G. The music relates an art. Thank you. Okay. So true. Okay. Let's go back to Jen. Can I have a message, please? Okay. Jen, I don't know. I got a guide. I got a guide, and there's someone else here as well. Well, there's a group of people here. Actually, I'm going to find out what they're holding in their arm at the moment. That's not so clear, but I'm told whatever it is you're looking for, it very much like Dariana, they're clearing out all the old right now for you. Okay, so you will be able to step forward in whatever it is you want to do. there's a part of you that has a desire to move, I'm told. I don't know yet if that means moving home or moving on, but you are going to move on either in home or in terms of relationship. Now, when it says move on, that doesn't mean that a relationship's going to end. It means that the relationship is going to move on, so it'll advance. But I sense that something from the past hasn't cleared before you can move on. So I think you've got to close the door on something in the past, relationship wise, fully 100%, so that you can move on. And you know, they keep making me look at my stairs and going up the stairs here, and this is symbolic because you are going up, and you're going up on a steep curve right now, and you might literally be getting dizzy spells at the moment, and this is because you're trying to advance too fast, and then you fall back down and you feel stuck. They're saying just pace it a little bit more. I heard the name Steve or Stephen coming from the spirit world, if it's for you. If not, it could be someone just following. I'm just going to step back. Okay, so true. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. Okay, let's get back to where I was. Yeah. So yeah, if you can take the name Steve or Stephen. I also feel that there is someone young in the spirit world with a grandmother, it seems. So the grandmother is holding someone young with their hand, and they're both smiling. And the grandmother isn't saying much. It looks like a grandmother, actually. This person in the spirit world, thank you, lost consciousness. That's what I got, lost consciousness. That's the elderly lady. Let's see what else we got for you. Jen sends me a purple heart. Okay. Is Miguel the better choice? Let me see. Is Miguel? I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain to me, Jen, what Miguel is the better choice? Is that in terms of relationship? Okay. Well, you know, there's an old saying, don't you? If in doubt, do now. And I think this applies to you. Spirit, they're doing this with their hand. So that doesn't mean no. It means just roll with it. Lucky you if you've got choices, because one date doesn't constitute a lifetime experience. So thank you. I think what they're saying is you don't have to make a choice right now. And I think that's really quite important because society has taught us that we have to make these definitive choices. We don't. Thank you. It's your time. It's your energy. It's your life, and you live it as how you see fit. And thank you. And they're saying, don't worry what other people think about you. This is most important. And once you do that, then you won't have to worry so much. We got yes, and we got I doubt everything. Yeah, I understand that. But so, I mean, this is through experiences that we learn to doubt, and that's because we're using our monkey mind. But once we start thinking from the heart will never betray you. And how do we think from the heart? And this is how I was told from upstairs how to think from the heart. To me, it helps to hold the hand in the heart position and either look down or close my eyes and look down. And if you ask the heart, because it does have its own consciousness, it does have its own brain, as do all the cells in your body, by the way. They have their own consciousness, they get on with their own lives, but they all work together. But with the heart, if you ask it a positive question, a positive affirmation, like, you know, I am a girl, rather than am I a girl? Am I a girl? Feel the answer. And then ask, am I a boy? And feel the answer. and in a very short space of time you'll feel the difference, and you will start learning to trust what your heart tells you. I think it is time that you started to just open up the heart a little bit more. Not, thank you, not a lot, not too much, just enough to allow a little bit more out, and to start doing this in baby steps. Okay. All right, they've just given me a lot of information there that I just want to try and sort out, because I'm not sure if they're saying that you stay out too late at night, or you should be having a little bit more fun out at night. So however that works for you, just take it. So there's somebody also around you, and you may smell their cigarette smoke. It's not your imagination. This is someone coming from the spirit world. This could be father, this could be grandfather, no, actually, I don't think it is. I think it feels like it could be an uncle or a very, very, very older brother. But there's someone around you that you perhaps can smell their smoke, but you think, that's my imagination. They're here around you, and they're trying to lift you, give you a little bit of a giggle and a little bit of a laugh. There was somebody, I know you gave me the name Miguel, but there's also somebody else in spirit, there's also somebody in spirit, I should say, with the initial M also. And I want to give you the month of September of somebody's passing, and I want to give you the number 87 or thereabouts. It could be the 8th of the 7th. If you're in the States, that would be the 7th of the 8th. Okay, if any of that resonates with you, let me know, and then I can get back to you and give you some more details. But in the meantime, of course, when I loved myself enough, every one of us has got to learn to do this. When I loved myself enough, I gave up perfectionism, that killer of joy. I think that's really apt for you, because I think you are a perfectionist, and I think you look for perfection in yourself to such an extent that you overthink things, and you do it kills joy. I know someone very close to me who is a perfectionist, and it does kill the joy of that person. We can't be all things to all people. Thank you. You might know this phrase. I just heard them say, get your own house in order first, and then worry about everything else. And that I know you're doing, and that I know that you're going to do. So, okay, I'll leave you with that. If you got any comment there, please let me know. Okay, let's have a look. I'll get back to you a sec there. Hang on. I doubt everything. I got that one. I was afraid one would mess with my spiritual growth. Only if you allow it, my dear. Everything that happens to us is because of us. And people can try to interfere with your spiritual growth, but it's with your permission. Everything needs your permission. For example, speaking to someone not too long ago, they're saying, can someone put a spell on me? Only with your own permission. A spell only works if you allow it to work. Prayer only works if you allow it to work. So no, the answer to that is no. One cannot prevent your spiritual growth, but if you're not so emotionally involved and you feel that one person really doesn't get what you're trying to do, it would be the opportunity to say, okay, this isn't going to work, because on something as fundamental as this, you can't support me, you don't get it, you hinder me. Then it probably would be best to say, thanks, but we best part company. Obviously, no one's perfect. So you have to also decide, I would say, if someone can offer you 70% of what you're looking for as a good starting point, then that's worth going on. But if there is something that you've reached an impasse, then I think it'd be time before you get too emotionally involved to ask that person to step back and look in more in the direction that you want to grow. But they cannot interfere with you spiritually, as I say, only with your own permission. So there we go. Let's have a look. What would the cloak of conscience mean? The cloak of conscience. It came up in meditation. The cloak of conscience. That's a good question. I'll have to try and look into this. Okay, this is just one answer, one way of looking at it. If we see consciousness as a field around us, because we don't know where consciousness resides. We don't know if it's in us, close to us, out in the field, across the universe. And we could see it as a cloak of consciousness, the cloak of consciousness. We could see it as, actually, what's that word? The firmament, I guess, if that makes any sense to you, the firmament. The globe is surrounded by the firmament. But the cloak of consciousness can also refer to yourself, the consciousness that's around you, like a cloak that sort of circles you around there. When your energy centers are open, this consciousness, these thoughts can come in. Are you feeling the little shiver right now as I start talking about this? I just started to feel this breeze come in. So I feel this is personal to you now, and that's why that's coming. So in this case, the coat of consciousness is to do with keeping your conscious thoughts alive and active, and within your with it close to you, so that you can call upon consciousness anytime you choose. Okay, let's have a look. Where are we? We're up there. Oh, yeah, it's finally connected. Okay. That was one we've done. And this one. Oh, you was wearing it. Oh, there you go. Okay, so this is your strength, this is your power. You're connected with consciousness, you're connected with the universe, you're connected with all things. And I think above all else that you are clearly connected, and you should now expand and use this gift. I don't think it refers to, you've got consciousness too close to you and, you're not using it properly. No, I think it's there, it's around you, and it's now becoming your time. Everybody's has got their time. Yours is your time now. I think it's been about a year that you have had your time, and it's gaining momentum now for you all the time. So use your cloak of consciousness. I would say also, it seems like it's there to be called upon when required. So for your earthly things, use your brain. Your earthly things will help you to cross the road safely, drive the car safely. But this cloak of consciousness, I feel, is for a higher process, for things that, let's for sake of argument, far more important than driving a car or getting through the earthly life. It's to do with the spiritual aspect of things, which you are stepping into. So yeah, well done, thank you. And you might start seeing aura as well, I'm told, and I think this might be because of the cloak that you're wearing. Let's have a look. When I had it on, I could see and hear the cosmos and many stars and so many whispers going on. I feel tingly. Yeah, I feel tingly now as well. I've got it on my knees. I was talking about this the other day to someone, that, the universe is not quiet. It's a bloody noisy place. It was a question that was asked about the void. Are we living in a void? And the answer was only if you want it. But, you pinch yourself and you'll soon discover you're not living in a void. It's very real. You're a sentient being. So the universe is not void. It's not empty. It's very busy and very loud. And the stable vibration of the universe, we're told, is 432 hertz. It dips up and down, but basically it's 432 hertz. And when we break that down, it comes to the number 9, which is the God number. So, very interesting. Maybe you go out in maybe, thank you, you go out in the astral every night. That's for sure. Okay. I just want to say I got a grandma figure here who did like just a little drink. Nothing was an issue. It looks like alcohol, but it comes in a little glass about this big. It doesn't look like it's whiskey or anything like that, but it looks like some kind of exotic drink, actually, that I can't seem to place. And she'd have one of these every night. It could be a schnapps before bed. Boom, down in one. If that's what she's showing me. If it's not schnapps, it could be something else. But if you can just place that somewhere, that would be good. And it's kind of saluting you as well, actually. Okay, I really appreciate your nuggets of wisdom and advice. Thanks you are most welcome. So go out, be the best version of the self you possibly can. Trust in your heart, and your heart will not betray you. So where were we? To understand things more. Well, good luck with that. This question often gets, the meaning of life and all the rest of it. I mean, good luck with that. I think for the most part, we're better off just trying to get through human life without worrying about the meaning of life. At the beginning I spoke about, where Jean spoke about, some people give their lives to little or nothing. Nevertheless, they give their lives to little or nothing. So the meaning of life on the earthly level is whatever we make it, whatever the grand scale of thing is. I honestly believe there is not a medium, a channeler, or anyone in the world that can really define the meaning of life. And it might frighten the life out of us if we did discover it. I spoke out to them and told them they had to begin to speak through one voice or one thought so I could understand. Super, yeah. And I think this is the thing with spirit, especially in this case. Just one person, please. Get organised. One person. I want to hear only from one person. In this way, you become familiar with the vibration. So that was an excellent choice. So this would also tell me what you've said. Be prepared to start channeling. And getting these messages in, if you haven't already started doing that. On the final descent thing, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you refresh me, Jen, with that, please? And I'll see what that's about. Have you heard of Thoth consciousness? No, I've got to be honest, I've never heard of that at all. But if you'd like to enlighten me, I'm always happy to learn about stuff like this. Let's have a look. We've gone all that. So yeah, what about channeling? I think that's something that you might be pretty good at, actually. The more I look into this, the more I lean into it, the more I feel that you would be doing some channeling, and channeling not only angels or archangels, but more and more now we are beginning to hear from higher intelligence. We call them aliens, Pleiades, whatever. There's lots more that we can tune into. This might be your avenue, because not everyone wants to be a medium. Not everyone particularly feels the drive to want to communicate with loved ones in spirit. Everyone's got their field of work, and everyone's important. So this might be, I'm beginning to feel this might be an avenue for you, but it's your choice, you know. And Spirit will always tell you, just because they encourage you to go into a certain direction, you don't have to do it. There's no penalty for not listening to what they say. So the important thing is to just do it, just to get started. That is the most important thing. Ah, Jet, any thoughts on F? Any thoughts on... Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's go. On the final descent thing. Oops. What does it mean if Spirit said the final descent? Ah, well, that could mean many things, actually. That we'd have to put it in context. I'll try and feel what it is that they're trying to say. Okay, first of all, the final descent is nothing to do with you sliding down into the abyss of depression or anything like this. To me, it feels very much like the final descent of, I think, of this global 3D illusionary world that we're existing in. Oh, by the way, do you have someone in Spirit who had stomach problems? Because I took a deep breath and I got stomach problems. I got problems here. I think it's kidney, isn't it? I'm not sure. So the final descent, to me, would look like not to do with you, but perhaps to do with people around you that will remain in that 3D awareness, that 3D consciousness, and you start to excel. So just bear that in mind. As I say, I don't feel it's anything too troublesome. I think it's going to be positive, that's for sure. With Jeanne around here, everything would be positive. So yeah, just keep your mind alert and try and keep away from people that will speak negative to try and bring you down into that lower level. I don't think it'll happen. I think you're a lot stronger now, whereas before perhaps it could have been. By the way, I've also got someone in Spirit with arthritis on the left wrist. I've got it right now, but often I get it on the left and it's the right. So, but just take someone in Spirit with arthritis on this wrist here. I don't think it's a broken bone. It feels like arthritis. So I haven't done that. What does it mean if Spirit said, oh yes, we've just done that. Okay, so yeah, I can't help you anymore with that one. But let's have a look here. I heard that in meditation, not sure what it is. I think of the Christ of consciousness. Well, yeah, there's something, I read this, something to do with Christ consciousness and something to do with oil and parts of the brain and cleansing. I'll have to try and find that. It's very interesting. The Christ consciousness, I think everyone has the Christ consciousness in us. It's just that we have not been trained to use it. Let's go to a very basic level. When we talk about schooling, we're not taught how to think, we're taught what to think. You know, a high consciousness education of, let's say, of the Christ type of consciousness would be at a very basic level, teaching people how to grow food, how to do an oil change on a car and things like this. A friend of mine, for example, his Christ consciousness, she teaches young children how to read blindfolded very successfully. You know, I just saw a demonstration of, again, this is Christ consciousness, where she had all different colours, squares put out on the floor. He would walk on them and go pink, next one blue, next one red, next one green, blah, 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 blah. So, and many people, many young children are learning now to read blindfolded. What's the point of it? The point is that they are using consciousness. and they're using cognizance in many ways, claircognizance, you know. So it's a lot more difficult for adults to learn to read blindfolded and things like this, uh, but they can do it. Which brings me on to the subject. Good documentary to watch. Superhuman, something like making the impossible possible. And there you will see kids riding bicycles blindfolded, playing table tennis blindfolded. You'll see a guy going to the supermarket blindfolded, picking stuff off the shelf, naming what the tin is. They talk about remote viewing. This is all Christ consciousness. And I think you've just got to activate it. How do you activate it? By not paying any attention to the BS that's going on in around the world on the global arena, you know, because it will take you out of that Christ consciousness. There are sufficient people in the world now, in the collective, that will make sure that nothing terrible happens in this world. What we're seeing right now is the destruction of the old so that the new can come in. I would say to everybody, keep focusing on joy, abundance, love and laughter, and you'll just see this world collapse, because the dark side, the old guard, are fighting for their lives. You know, I asked John once, what more can I do to help the people? And she said, love. And I said, well, what else can I do? Meaning, you know, something more practical. And she said, well, what else is there? And that is one of the highest vibrations. I think gratitude is slightly higher than love. But so yeah, everything is going okay. Let's have a look. When I think of Thoth consciousness, oh, okay, yeah, and as many people in spirit world would tell me, what's in a name? It's the message rather than the messenger. I also sense with Thoth, it's a rebuilding of things to come, helping structure new knowledge. Absolutely, 100%. I am in total agreement with you on that. We noticed it, look, in 2020 when the pandemic kicked off. Fortunately, I was privy to some information which obviously I couldn't share. I'd put up a flag and then I'd get myself in trouble, especially as I hold a British passport now and I'm a third world citizen, and I have to keep replying for residency every 3 years in Austria, and so I've got to be a good boy and not rock the boat. And so I was given a lot of information that was the start of the end of this old world. They stepped out, the trapdoor was shut and they couldn't step back, so now they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and are going to continue to push, but they cannot possibly win this battle. We are winning, and if we stay in love, stay in peace, stay in joy, stay in abundance, keep out of fear, that's the most important thing, you'll see things change. I just want to remind people, here's a good way of putting this. You know, people want to see, they pray, for example, for the end of war. And may I humbly say, that is the wrong thing that you're praying for, because the war may end. What follows it? What the hell follows? Well, it could be another tyrant. It could be another nut job who wants to cause more conflict. So what we should be praying for or asking for is peace. That's the outcome we want. How do we get peace on the global theatre? We have to have peace with ourselves first. Therefore, we must not live in fear. If we live in fear, we're not in peace. So if we can start consciously, through Christ consciousness, whatever name you want to give it, start living peace within ourselves, that will automatically go to the exterior, and it will automatically go to the people around you. oh, they say, you've changed. You say, thank you, I know. And then they go to work and they feel better. And, you have this snowball effect. Children go to school much happier. They talk with their friends, they're much happier. Those kids go home to their parents, they're happy. So, if you think you're too small to make a difference, think again. You're never too small to make a difference. You, me, we are the difference. But you'll never get told that. Do you know in I think it's Thailand or one of these countries over that neck of the woods, whereas in the West here I grew up at school having assembly, saying prayers, repeating the Our Father, God knows how many times a week. But in Thailand, the school kids do morning meditation. You won't hear about this because that's the last thing they want us to start doing here, getting that kind of energy and that kind of consciousness. But it's coming. It is coming. And I think there's one school where if you misbehave, rather than give detention, you stay behind and do meditation. I think they've got to have parents' permission or something like that. But this is a great idea. So we're moving away from punishment into your misdeeds, turning it into something good, something beneficial, rather than punishing you for speaking out of turn or swearing or something like this. We can bypass the finger waving and show people a better way of behaving. But kids will be kids. That's the way it is. So, look, I think, there we go. How about grace and gratitude for all belonging on earth? Absolutely. Grace and gratitude for all on earth is, I would say, is a perfect way of putting it. I can't add anything to that at all. When we do our healing circle, we always send healing to the nature. I think nature doesn't need our healing. I think it's more capable of change than we are. But we send it to the healing because we're showing gratitude for what it gives us. We also send healing to people in a position of power, and we ask people to focus their energy on anyone in particular that needs it more than anyone else, or just do the blanket. But we also send healing to the animal kingdom, particularly those that are in laboratories, and even more so the people that do the most disgusting things to these poor animals in laboratories, which we now know we don't need to do these experiments. So yes, and then we fill their hearts with the love and the joy, and of course we get our hearts filled with love and joy. So absolutely, grace and gratitude for all on earth. There's one little trick before I leave you all that you should know about, and that is whenever I drink a glass of water, I always say thank you as I drink it. There's a glass you can buy with love, gratitude, peace, etc. On the glass, because we know words have power, and that will change the energy in the glass. We saw these experiments where we had two plants, and they had on one plant, I love you, bless you, thank you, gratitude, humble. And it was, the next plant was sitting about 30 centimeters away, and it was, I hate you, die, you make me sick. Guess which one grew and blossomed, and guess which one died. So the words have power, and we need to learn to change our words to know exactly what we mean. So that's why when I said, when we pray for the end of war, it's wrong, because what we really want is peace. And that's what we should be praying and asking for. And then whatever we ask for, even if it's abundance for all, you got to feel abundant yourself from the inside. And abundant can take on everything from finance to laughter to relationship. But abundance, we got to feel it. So good idea to try and use our words as best we can. Now, I think I've got through everyone. Okay, yeah, I think we're all done. Okay, well, look, everyone, thanks for popping in. I do love these chats, actually. At some point, I'm gonna try and get a system set up so you can call in if you want to call in, and we can have a good old chat about spiritual things. And or we can connect with our guides, and we can still do texting if you prefer to text. Whatever you fancy. But these little chats are good. Um, and while we're talking about it, we're raising our vibration, by the way. And so tonight, I hope I'm going to leave you all uplifted. I know Jean's been here, and as I say this, I feel that you're going to start feeling spirit just come closer now as we close. I'm getting it around the knees right now. As it comes and goes everywhere, but I'm getting it on the knees now. And all of you that are here as we close, I feel that you're going to start getting the energy of spirit as they draw close for their also appreciation in being able to connect with us all today. So let's just finish off these. Okay, thank you, Mike, and thank you. Let me just find. I'm not very good at this, I've got to say. Thank you, Bernard. I remember you. And thanks. Yep, thank you. Thanks for popping by. And blessings for everyone. Absolutely 100%. So, anyway, look, thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. This is me, Mike Cavalli, signing off. Jean and our guides and your loved ones and your friends in spirit, all of them, as we all go back to our way of life until we meet again. Bye-bye for now.